How y'all doing? It's your girl Amarachi, and I'm here to talk about the latest episode of Married to Medicine. Let's get into the episode. So we're gonna be reviewing season 11, episode 6. The ladies are still. I'm sorry, y'all. I just caught a glimpse of myself on my monitor, and I see my hair. Oh my lord, y'all. I don't know what to do. I started. So I have micro locks, right? Okay, like look at. Let me just rant a little bit. I have micro locks, right? So I started my micro locks like what August of 2024. Right, you get it together. August of 2024, and I was like freshly postpartum, 3 months postpartum. I was like, oh, this is my second baby. Like I knew I was gonna have like hair loss, but I didn't think I was gonna have a lot. Cause with my first baby, I just lost a couple of edges, and that was all. But now I'm like what 7 months postpartum, and like my hair is just going like I don't even want to show y'all this because I'm embarrassed. It's like I don't have my locks are falling out, and I'm just like, and I spent so much money to get this thing done. I don't, y'all. Okay, now this is gonna annoy me. Where's the part? Oh Lord. Okay. Like I spent so much. I just want to cut it off and start over. Like I had like I don't have like I literally don't have any hair on the sides. So that's why it looks like my locks are just like starting up here. When I first got my locks installed, my hair was luscious. I had hair like now I don't got no edges. I don't got no edges. I don't know. Anytime I look in the mirror, it makes me sad. But I'm gonna see what it looks like in the by 6 months. So I'll be 6 months. What February? I'll see what it looks like by 6 months. If I don't like it, I'm just gonna chalk it up and cut it all off. And you know, now I understand why they say don't start your locks if you're freshly postpartum. I really thought like I would be all right, but no. And I wear wigs to like when if I don't feel like looking at it. But the point of having locks is so that I don't have to like constantly wear wigs. So now that's defeating the purpose because I'm wearing wigs to like cover up like the hair that fell out. Like I literally like have a bunch of hair fell out on this side, and then some hair was still like thinning out, so she had to like combine. So I have like a lot of like so she had to combine a lot of like locks, so it just looks like yo, that's all right. It's not all right, but what can I do? Married to Medicine season 11 episode 6. So we continue from the fight we stopped 2 weeks ago. um Dr. Jackie breaks down in the golf cart as she's telling Heavenly to, just chill out, just stop talking, and Heavenly's still running off at the mouth. Contessa is also running off at the mouth, talking about how the ladies had let Heavenly get away with stuff. And Toya tells Contessa, well, Jackie is the only person that Heavenly listens to. So Sweet Tea inserts herself and says, well, Jackie needs to say more. I said, Sweet Tea, Jackie is not Heavenly's mama. Jackie is not Heavenly's whisperer. Like, Heavenly is responsible for herself. Yes, Jackie can like be like, you know what, Heavenly, stop, but don't even like I don't like how she tried to make it insinuate like, oh, like Jackie should be the one stopping Heavenly from saying stuff. Like, no, Heavenly is a grown woman. She, like, you say something to her, she's gonna come at you. If you say something to her, she's gonna come at you. Like, come on now. But Quad and Quad and Phaedra, they still at the table eating, and I was like, I don't blame them because you're not about to ruin my dinner, like. So they're still eating. I'm sorry, y'all, if you guys hear me sniffling. I'm gonna try not to, but I think I'm coming down with a little cold. So the ladies all come back to the table, and Quad is telling Heavenly that she was wrong with that your mama comment, telling Heavenly like you need to stop going low. And all the ladies agree. All the ladies were in agreement. Even Dr. Jackie, they all literally said like, Heavenly, like you need to stop. Like, stop talking about people's mamas. When you're backed up in the corner with somebody, your go-to is your mama's this, your mama that. Like, stop. So production shows us a flashback of all the times like Heavenly got into an altercation, confrontation with somebody, and then she would just like start like insulting their mama. So, but then of course, Quad had to bring it back to Napa. But somehow, some shape or form, it got back to Napa, and excuse me. So Quad brings it back to Napa, and she's telling the ladies like how, no, before yeah. So she brings it back to Napa. No, Jackie says, "Is there something else that we need to get off of our chest?" So Quad says, "Well, is it true that the apology you gave me wasn't genuine? You just like gave me a blank check and just told me to like fill out whatever it is that I'm sorry for." And Jackie was like, "No, the apology that I gave you is genuine. I am truly sorry, but the blank check is for you to everything that I've done, that you feel like I've done to you, then that's what I'm sorry for." In my opinion, that's still not an apology. But if Quad wants to accept it, hey, it is what it is. So she brings up Napa and how after Napa, the ladies didn't even call to check on her. That she couldn't hold on. I wrote down what she said. She says, "I didn't sleep. I lost weight, and nobody called to check on me." And then she starts going on like the soap opera. But then there's a flashback to the statement that Simone made at the reunion regarding Quad's family member that passed away at her home. And so Simone apologized for on that behalf and said that she can see that her making that statement truly hurt Quad. So she is sorry. So she apologized to Quad, and they all hug it out. And Jackie prays, and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. So Heavenly admits that she's wrong for the your mama comments, and says, but she says that she can't trust Contessa, and Contessa probably can't trust her. So as of right now, she doesn't really know where their friendship lies. But she feels like they're most likely will never be best friends again, but they at least for them to be cordial. So I mean, y'all, not much really happened in this episode. It was just, it was I don't know. I don't want to call it a filler, but not much happened. So then we see Scott, Greg, and Cecil. They meet up to go ATV riding. Once they're done the ATV, they get to talking, and Cecil asks Greg, "Have you talked to Damon since our last meeting?" And Greg is like, "No, Damon hasn't reached out to me, and I haven't reached out to Damon." And then at the same time, they pan over to Eugene's house. Dr. Eugene invites Dr. Damon over to his place. They're there chilling, talking, and then Dr. Eugene brings up Dr. Greg, tells Dr. Damon, like, "I still feel like Greg feels some type of way about our last meeting." And Dr. Damon is like, "Oh, he told you that?" And Dr. G is like, "No, I'm just saying this is what, from my perspective, this is what I think." And Dr. Damon is over there still acting oblivious, like, "Well, if he had a problem with my wife, you can just tell me." And I'm just like, bruh, he told you, he told you what he had a problem with your wife, and your response was, "Don't talk about my wife." I mean, yes, you're defending your wife, but I don't know. I don't want to say that Dr. Damon supports what Heavenly does, because he probably like chastises her like behind closed doors, as couples should, because you shouldn't be out in public chastising your wife or your husband. But I'm just like, but he could be like, "Yo, bro, like, instead of telling Dr. Greg, oh, you're too sensitive," he could have been like, "I understand that what my wife said was insensitive and inappropriate, and I don't think that she means it, and I'm sorry on her behalf." Like, he could have said something like that instead of telling the man that he's too sensitive. Like, the man is a doctor, and you're like, Doctor, I don't know. Dr. Damon, like, he just be acting oblivious sometimes, and I feel like he's not oblivious. That's just like how he, like, that's his mechanism. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, I know Dr. Heavenly likes to say, like, "Oh, Dr. Damon doesn't know like the ins and outs of what's happening on the show." I don't believe that. I feel like he knows to a certain level what's happening. He just chooses to have a close his eyes to it, or just chooses not to get involved. I don't know why this whole time I've been staring at my light. I'm supposed to be looking up. Y'all, I have not made it. I'm all discombobulated today. But I'm gonna get it together, y'all. I'm gonna get it together because I'm like, why am I staring at this? I'm supposed to be looking over here, but okay, I'm gonna get it together, y'all. So, Cecil and Scott tell Dr. Greg to, reach out to Dr. Damon and try to have a one-on-one with him in like an olive branch. And at first, I kind of didn't. I was kind of like against it. I was just like, why should he be the one to reach out? Like your wife is the one that was in the wrong. But then I'm like, okay, you and Damon don't really have any problems with each other. Is your wife's that have an issue with each other? So yes, I kind of agree. Like, reach out to him once you guys talk, and then how he responds when you guys have that one-on-one conversation, that lets you know how you guys should move forward in the future. So I do agree with Cecil and Scott, asking him to reach out to Dr. Damon, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just looking down at my notes, y'all. So the ladies are discussing they all go out to eat. They're at a bonfire talking under the bonfire. And Contessa apologizes to Dr. Jackie for the fall, and makes a joke about it. But Dr. Jackie accepts the apology and says that she's good. And then the Contessa kind of like goes off on the ladies, saying that, why are you guys always like letting Heavenly off on the hook? You guys are always asking like, how did he get to this point? And Simone is like, yes, like, how did he get to this point? But Contessa's just like, this is just who Heavenly is. Like, I feel like with Contessa and Heavenly, I'm still asking the same question. How did it get to this point? Because you guys, Contessa, Heavenly's restated comments that you made, things that you insinuated about your husband. That's also what the public is also saying. Like, you insinuated these things about your husband. So now all of a sudden you're acting like, oh, I didn't. Like, I'm tired. I'm at this point, I'm really tired about the Contessa and Heavenly issue. I'm just tired about it. Like, I don't whatever. So Phaedra talks about how, as they go back to Atlanta, they should try to, like, mend fences. Quad and Simone are finally on the right path. So now Heavenly and Contessa could also try to, like, mend fences, or try to, like, right what's going wrong. And Dr. Heavenly was just like, no, like, let that ish happen organically. Don't try to force it. There shouldn't be like any, oh, let's get them together. And Dr. Contessa agreed. And then that's when Sweet Tea decided to jump in and said, well, Heavenly, do you agree to stop taking jabs? Something like that. I was just like, oh my God. And when she said that, Heavenly was like, I'm not talking to you right now. And she kept like pressing Heavenly, like, well, do you agree to stop making comments? I'm like, T, why do you keep inserting? I feel like T, at this point, Heavenly is paying her dust, and she does not like that. It's like T is so pressed that Heavenly is not even like worried about her. You see, the difference between T and Contessa is that Contessa and Heavenly actually had a friendship. So there's like this level of, okay, I want to talk to you. I want to try to like resolve this with you. Whereas T and Heavenly, well, based on what we saw on camera, it doesn't seem like they had a friendship. So that's why Heavenly is not really pressed to be like, oh, T, let me try to resolve this. And I feel like that's what pains T. It's like, T, this woman is paying you dust. Pay her dust. Like, like, why do you feel the need to? So she kept pressing it. And then Toya's like, girl, like, she literally just told you, I don't want to talk to you right now. So why do you keep like pressing it? Like, what other language do you want her to speak to let you know that she does not want to talk to you? I'm just like, look, yeah. So now the ladies all head back. They're back in Atlanta, and Scott and Contessa are talking. And Contessa is telling Scott what happened. Well, no, Scott brings up the fact that Curtis called him and told him what happened to Jackie. So apparently saying that, basically trying to insinuate that Contessa had threw Jackie and she was airborne. I say not airborne. Contessa was like, no, that's not what happened. So she tells Scott what happened. and she tells Scott that Heavenly called him abusive. And Scott was like, what? Like, Heavenly's been around me. She's been around me, like, when we've had arguments. I just walk away. And then Contessa's like, yeah, you have an avoidant personality, but that doesn't mean you're abusive. And once again, I'm just like, Contessa, we Heavenly and we the viewers are going off of what you insinuated. Like, is that like, I want Contessa to go back and watch her last season on this show. She will see that she did insinuate that there's a possibility that this man could allegedly be abusive. So it's like, why are you acting like us? Like, are we dumb? I mean, I know I'm not dumb, so, but I'm just like, why? And then she tells Scott that Heavenly said, F your mama. I was like, wait, what? At first, I thought what Heavenly said was, your mama is stupid. I mean, not that that's any better, but I was like, when did she say F your mama? But then, and then she also said that, and then Heavenly said, I don't care about that B word. I was like, wait, what? I was like, okay, maybe production edited all that out. But only thing all I remember Heavenly saying on the last previous episode was, your mama is stupid. But I guess they edited that out. That's why Contessa was charging at her. But I was like, damn, if that's really what she said, I would understand why you would say, you know what, that friendship is done. So Contessa basically says that in her confessionals that her and Heavenly are done. Like, there's no coming back from that. And I totally understand that if that's what she said. So, okay. So now we get to Jackie. Jackie's planning her second annual Met Gala. So her event planner comes over and we find out that Phaedra is her co-chair. So Phaedra is saying how like she's thrown lavish parties. She's good at throwing parties. I mean, we've seen that Phaedra throws parties, but I wouldn't have been like, oh, like she throws great. I mean, well, let me not throw shade. She throws parties. I mean, we've seen her birthday parties for her kids when she was on Housewives of Atlanta, and Mama, and I'm like, throwing parties and throwing fundraisers are totally two different things. So she's co-chair. We found out that Jackie's been messaging her. It was like, what, 72 messages from Jackie that Phaedra has not opened. I said, how are you a co-chair? You don't even open messages from like the person you're playing events with. So Jackie's plan is to raise, so Jackie says like she's $15,000 in the hole. And her plan is to raise $25,000. But Phaedra's like, oh, we can get it to $100,000. Jackie's like, what? So Phaedra's like, oh, like, you know, I know people, I have connections. And so she tries to call one of like the potential donors and the person doesn't pick up. And then she makes a joke like, well, you know, it is a Friday. I don't know. I feel like Phaedra just be putting on. I don't think Phaedra is going to be able to raise $100,000 like she says she is. I mean, yeah, you might know people, but do those people, are they rocking with you like that to bring out their money to give for your calls? I don't know. But y'all, that was Married to Medicine. It wasn't really much happening. It wasn't really much happening. So, but yeah, that was Married to Medicine. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Put it down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.